This is actually another Lahaina Pali trail video. Now this one's actually from the Ukumehame side. I've got another video up from the other side of the trail, the Ma'alea side, again with the pronunciations probably totally off, but this one was mid-November. It was about 80 degrees outside, and the thing you'll notice in the video is, aside from the beautiful sky, the fact that there's no coverage anywhere on the trail. There's very few trees on the trail. So definitely you want to make sure you're hydrated. I stayed on the trail for about an hour and a half. And when I'm doing something that short, again, I don't take water myself, but obviously I'll have some water and some Powerade in the car for when I get back down. Shoes, I went with tennis shoes, but I would say definitely want to think about going with some hiking shoes, because if you look at the trail, just like the one on the other side as well, if you look at the trail, it's all rocks and things like that. You definitely don't want to get into a situation where you end up tweaking an ankle or anything like that. What you'll also notice on the trail is, as it's going along in certain parts, say more so towards the beginning, but it was throughout, you'll see everything looks charred. And what I was told, and I don't know how accurate this is, but what I was told was maybe a month or two prior to having gone on the trail, they actually had a fire there. I didn't look into it any further to see if it was kind of like a controlled burn or anything like that, or if it was something that was caused by nature or man-made. Again though, there was a fire. You could smell the char in the air, and you could see it on the ground. You could tell that something had happened. And one other thing I wanted to mention was, at the beginning of the video, you can see there were a couple cars in the parking lot. On the trail itself, we actually only ended up seeing 2 people during that time we were there. One guy passed us on our way up, and then another girl, she came after us, and she just kind of zoomed right on by us. So here's a video of the trail. Take a look at it, see what you think, and see if it's something that maybe you want to incorporate into part of your itinerary when you're out on Maui. So what'd you think? Did you see the charred areas throughout as you're going along? Now, if you look at the thing, it's kind of like a boring hike, right? There's not a lot of scenic views and things like that like there are on some of the other trails on some of the other islands. When you're on vacation though, you've got to find some time to put in some work on those trails, because Hawaii, the food, you could end up eating too much, so you definitely want to try to find some way of working off some of that stuff when you can. Again, to reiterate, in my opinion, because it isn't covered, and even though I don't take fluids there, I would say if you're going to spend any amount of time over 30 minutes to an hour there, then take some fluids if it's going to be hot outside, anything over like 80 degrees. Shoes, even though I won't tennis shoes, I would seriously think about going with some trail shoes. And just like I said, keep in mind that there's no coverage for you. There's no trees, nothing like that. So think about the sunblock as well. I didn't use any, but that was because I was trying to get a little bit of a tan going. I had too much of a farmer tan beforehand. But again, just be safe out there. And like I say, with any of these trails, people have different ideas on what's beginner, what's intermediate, and what's difficult. Obviously, my standard is different than yours, and yours will be different from the next person, or even the person you may go with. I didn't find this trail too difficult myself in terms of the steepness and everything like that, but obviously if you're anywhere for 30 minutes, an hour and a half, putting in work in the sun, moving uphill at all, then you're going to feel it a little bit and you're going to sweat. Now, in terms of my fitness level, I would say I'm intermediate. I'm not one of these individuals that's going to go out there and hike the whole trail, going to go run a marathon or anything like that. But I would say if you are honest with yourself and you're kind of an intermediate individual in terms of your fitness level, then this would be something that's possibly for you. If you consider yourself a beginner though, I think you can still get on this trail. It's not so steep to where you would have some issues, but again, whatever level you were at, make sure you're hydrated. So take care everybody, thanks for watching. Again, thumbs up or thumbs down. Until the next video, take it easy everybody.